The Moon is a natural archive of the solar system's violent early history. No wind, no rain, no geological recycling. Every crater, every ridge, every ancient scar has been preserved exactly where it formed, sometimes billions of years ago. This fine-grained material, sometimes meters deep, absorbs incoming light and radiates heat in ways that reveal the composition of the crust beneath. Scientists read it like a textbook. The oldest surfaces are the Highlands pale, heavily cratered terrain that dates back more than 4 billion years to a period known as the Late Heavy Bombardment, when the inner solar system was being pelted from all directions. From Earth, they form the patterns we call the man in the moon. But the moon was not always geologically quiet. Centuries of careful observation recorded events called transient lunar phenomena brief, flashes, glows, and color changes on the surface. Most were dismissed as optical illusions. Then orbital instruments began detecting escaping gases in specific regions, confirming that the moon still releases trace amounts of radon and other volatiles from its interior, outgassing long after its volcanic fires went dark. These releases are not eruptions, they are more like slow exhalations, remnants of a once active interior. The surface itself is a stark contrast of extremes. In shadow, including the permanently shadowed craters near the poles, temperatures drop to minus 133 degrees. No spacecraft and no human can ignore those numbers. Which is exactly why getting people to the moon and back required one of the most precisely engineered systems ever built. The Apollo program launched 12 astronauts to the lunar surface between 1969 and 1972. Each mission was a sequence of events where no single failure could be recovered from. The margin was never comfortable. Apollo 11 touched down on July 20, 1969. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin spent just over 2 hours on the surface. On every mission, the crew had roughly 7 minutes to reach orbit before the rendezvous window closed. Apollo 12 landed with greater precision, touching down within 180 meters of the unmanned Surveyor 3 probe that had been sitting on the surface since 1967. Apollo 13 did not land at all. An oxygen tank ruptured on the way out. The crew used the lunar module as a lifeboat for 4 days, navigated around the moon using engine burns calculated in part by hand, and returned safely. It remains one of the most precise emergency recoveries in spaceflight history. The later missions Apollo 15, 16, and 17 carried the Lunar Roving Vehicle, an electric buggy that allowed crews to travel up to 10 kilometers from the lander and collect samples from genuinely different geological contexts. Some samples carried glass beads, tiny spheres, formed when ancient volcanic eruptions threw molten droplets into the vacuum, which cooled instantly in flight and rained back down onto the surface. Unlike Earth dust, which is rounded by wind and water erosion over time, lunar regolith particles are fractured and jagged. The Moon has no magnetosphere and no atmosphere to deflect solar particles or galactic cosmic rays. Surface radiation doses can reach dangerous levels within hours. The fraction of the Moon that humans have actually stood on is vanishingly small. The far side, never visible from Earth, due to tidal lock-in, has a thicker, more heavily cratered crust with fewer maria. The South Pole Aitken Basin on the far side is one of the largest confirmed impact structures in the solar system, nearly 2,500 kilometers across and up to 8 kilometers deep. No human has seen it from the surface. It is not a stepping stone to somewhere more interesting. More spacecraft have been sent to the Moon in the past decade than in the 30 years prior. The return, delayed for half a century, is now underway. The 12 men who walked on the Moon between 1969 and 1972 left retroreflectors, seismometers, and soil cores. They also left footprints, which are still there, undisturbed in the vacuum exactly as they were the moment each boot lifted off the surface. The Moon has not forgotten them.